Salutations, Queen of Shade here, coming to you with another very special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, talking to some amazing people around the world has truly been an experience for me. It has changed my life, and I have forged connections that are more priceless and valuable than choice gold and fine silver. Having said that, I have someone today that you need to meet. But before I introduce this young man, we're going to do a little reading. All right, here we go. Victor Yates is a poet, writer, social media manager, and content creator on YouTube. He was selected for the Fire Island Artist Residency and is the winner of the 2020 George Floyd Honorarium for poetry from the Los Angeles Press. He won the 2017 Judith A. Markowitz Award for emerging LGBTQ writers and the 2016 Lambda Literary Award for LGBT debut fiction for his book, A Love Like Blood. So clearly, we got a big fish today. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to my platform for the first time, and hopefully not the last, Mr. Victor Yates. Hello.
Hello, my love. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, even more so fantastic now that you're here.
Oh, before we start, I have to say that I am honored to share space with you. You are one of the individuals that I would look at your content on social media, and you have been around for a very long time. And I used to listen to your music years ago on YouTube. And so you have that iconic graphic of like the shaved head with the svelte, like black garment. And that image is what I think of when I think of you. And it definitely represents who you are. Thank you for being someone that people can look to in the community for information, for interviews, and being a platform for other artists, because it's one thing to bring art into the world. It's another thing to share your platform for other artists. So thank you for everything.
You're trying to make me cry. You went way back. I mean, way back. I have actually been in formation for 21 years. I'm 42 now.
Oh,
And the last 10 years have been as the Queen of Shade. On January 1st, it's my anniversary. It'll be 10 years in front of this camera for social media. And literally, I have posted every single day Queen of Shade content to my platforms
wow.
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment.
I've been grinding. Listen, when they don't give you a place or when they don't respect who you are and they want to change you,
Yeah.
got to do something about it. And, I was one of those ones that was crazy enough to believe that what God gave me, what my ancestors passed to me, was worthy. And that's very difficult. And the reason why I'm saying that is, as an artist, you're an artist. We didn't mention that you're on the love of DILFs, right?
No, 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 I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot that. I'm like, you're on the love of DILFs. You're literally on television right now. I'm like, hello. Yeah, but we forgot. But that's all right. I'm bringing it up now. I'm bringing it up now. You're on for the love of DILFs. But, people don't understand that to be an artist, most of the time, we are told what to do
Yeah,
by non-artists.
yeah,
So I'm getting goosebumps. My ancestors showed up. So for us, we are always fighting
yes,
to hold on to our originality, to hold
yeah,
on to to our individuality, our
yeah,
uniqueness,
yeah,
our creativity, the way that we see it, the lens and the scope that we see ourselves.
yeah,
And this business is one of those businesses where you can start one way and
yeah.
in 10 years not recognize yourself.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So I just want to say that I am honored to have you here
Oh,
because you do something I admire more
oh,
than anything. And honestly, it is why I'm here.
oh,
You write.
oh,
Every last one of those monologues I did, I wrote them.
oh, okay.
I wrote them all. No team, none
Yeah,
of that. I put like I do those monologues for social media. I did some today. I'm still doing them off the cusp. I'm
yeah,
writing. I'm
yeah.
writing. There are over 60,000 of them.
Holy crap.
There are
Wow.
60,000 plus of them. But it's been 10 years.
Yeah,
But I said all of that to say that I did that because no one saw me.
yeah,
They kept saying, you have potential. You could be something. But it was always, you have potential if you did this or if you lost that. Just cut that out. And the biggest thing was sing lower.
oh, okay.
And I was like, I don't even think I can
Yeah,
because I'm a countertenor.
yeah,
That's a mezzo soprano in the opera world. Countertenors are from the opera world. So for a countertenor to convincingly cross into popular music is unheard of. It was a lot of first for me. So
okay.
you said that, you took me on that journey. I saw the image when you
Oh,
said it. I saw the image because little do they know. When I take this off
yeah,
and when this camera goes off,
yeah.
that's who I am.
Oh,
Victor, thank you.
oh,
Thank you for seeing me. I
oh,
mean that because it's another thing. You think I'm indie, it's going to take me forever.
yeah,
I've been in front of critics that said if you don't do it with us, you'll never do it.
okay.
You'll be an old man before you do it.
Oh,
That used to terrify me.
yeah,
But Victor, if I'm 70 years old and I'm doing this in a gray wig and I own it, it's worth it.
yes,
It's worth it.
yes,
So thank you for seeing me. That was an amazing way to start this conversation because it's what it is. It's a conversation.
yes.
And you do so much like you're critically acclaimed. You've won awards. Come on now. You've won awards for being able, like my professors used to say in college and even in high school, you give voice to words. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. We got a lot of writers out here.
Okay.
But to give voice to where the voice leaves the pages and translates into the world out there, worthy of recognition. I'm here to give you your flowers.
Oh.
I am honored to have you because we were going to do this, 2 weeks ago? And get it, you were on set.
Yeah,
You were like, listen, they gave me a schedule last minute. I have to film.
Yeah.
And what people need to understand is it's not mainstream artists against indie artists. You're doing what you feel is best for you.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. And
Yeah.
you're maintaining as much, if not all, of your integrity. That's hard. You
Yeah.
know, Hollywood is not Hollywood, it's Holly weird.
Yeah.
You know that. And for you to be one of those people that is trailblazing out there in the desert, literally,
Yeah.
my hat is off to you. My hat is off to you. I am honored to have you here today.
Thank you.
Honored to give you your flowers. So let's start. When we came on camera, you were sitting at a boardroom. I expected 12 other people to be sitting there. It was a daggone boardroom. He had multiple cameras. He's like, oh, should I look into this one? Should I look into that one? He said, that's production.
Yes.
That's production. I said, oh, okay. All right.
Only that for you. I want it to look good for you.
And you do. You
Oh, thank
do.
you.
And I'm going to be honest, my ancestors are here. I have many gifts, you know this.
Oh,
There's a energy radiating from you. There's a lot of love in you.
oh,
There's a lot of love in you. I feel it. And people like you write the stories that many of us are going to live through, that are going to inspire young people to even go to Hollywood, to even launch out on their own. You're going to, we need to be seen.
yeah.
We need to be seen, especially now,
Yes. Oh, yes.
the
Yes.
climate of what's going on.
Yeah.
When the outcome of that election came, I said, I'm not going to rest for 4 years
Yeah.
because I literally have to reflect the times. I
Yeah.
have to tell people we can get through this. I
Yeah.
have to convincingly. See, that's the thing. A lot of people do what we do.
Yeah.
Convincingly.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah.
It's key.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't put everything in my bio, but I'm also an educator. And one of the first things that I did when I moved here, I worked at a camp for youth impacted by HIV and AIDS.
Mm.
And now I work at a camp for individuals who are gender non-conforming and transgender. And I thought of all of them on election day. And it's going to be difficult. But I loved what you said earlier about how words leave the page. And it is through storytelling that we can come together as a community, support each other, share stories, and not just mainstream queer stories, but all of our stories. And that's really why I like For the Love of Delphs, which I forgot to put in my bio. For the Love of Delphs, if any of your viewers don't know, it is an intergenerational dating show on Out TV. And it's through the power of storytelling and the power of love that we get to meet people from all over this country who would not have met each other without Daddy TV, which is the production company that put us all together. And what I loved about that experience is that I live alone in LA, and I got to wake up in a mansion every day with incredible queer people. And it was such a privilege to do that because I felt love around me at all times. Now, there was drama sometimes in the house, but I'll take that any day than the silence that I have to go to at my home. And it was quite a beautiful experience. And I hope that your viewers that don't know about the show get to watch it because episode 3 dropped today and it was a doozy. And I won't talk about it so that people that haven't watched it get to experience it. But it was, it's a very dramatic episode. It's a very dramatic episode. And I'm so grateful for being in the community now of DILFs. I'm in a fraternity that I'll exist in forever as long as I have breath in my body. We are on a group chat and we check in every day. And I'm so just proud of the people that they have become post show.
Yes. You know, it's so funny to me because I am one of those babies where I was always ahead of my time.
Duh.
Always. And my time is catching up now. But you said something that is the reason, another reason. You're hitting all the points here because when I walked away from my major label deal, pissed my A&R CEO off, all of them, and they said, you wanna sing in coffee shops and we want you to sing in front of millions of people and and I was like, yes. And they said I was stupid and this is that and the other and that I'd never be and I'd never do. So that for me, the mainstream dream was over. But what I pride myself on is I'm extremely resourceful and resilient.
Yeah.
I believed, which is why I sit here, that I could make a living and not have to go outside my community.
Okay.
I believed that I could stay in the gay community.
Yeah.
We have everything. We've
Yeah.
got doctors, we've got lawyers, we've got actors,
Yeah.
models, musicians. And
Yeah.
what I love about our community that people don't highlight enough is when you go to places like the mansion for the love of DILFs. That is us in the club.
Yeah.
You never know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You never know their resume. You don't
Yeah.
know their financial standing. But
Yeah.
one thing I have enjoyed about being a card carrying member of the rainbow community is that we can get to each other.
Yeah.
We can communicate in a way that most people would tell you, oh, well, no, honey, you can't get in to see him. And he rarely sees people. And, oh, no, baby, he won't make time for that. With our community, it's like, you're gay, I'm gay, we're in.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
before you even realize who they are and
Yeah.
what they do, you have built a rapport.
Yeah.
So I was the type of person where I said, you know what? I had it in my bio. I am an artist that is a queer artist that are for queer people.
Yeah.
I'm singing. Get this. I've had many people around the world love that music, especially
Yeah.
in Europe. But that music is designed for a man to be singing to a man.
Yeah.
That was its inception, its purpose, its reason for being. I
Yeah.
love that the world is catching on just as they did the Queen of Shade. But I came into being to empower us.
Yeah.
I came into being so that the world in our community would see a strong leader.
Yeah.
One that didn't take short ends of the sticks. One that said, listen, I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to do that. I ain't got to lay on my back. I ain't got to do any of the things you're offering me because mine will take care of me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I've watched that work for me.
Yeah.
When I started this, my promotion was word of mouth.
Yeah.
It was word of mouth. And I was so skeptical because I had the money to pay for promotion. But it was a straight man. One of my cousins said to me, no, Queen, you don't need to do that. Let it grow. Word of mouth gonna put you right where you need to be. And it was one of my babies, whom, because I also do mentoring.
Yeah.
It's one of my babies. His name is Philando Jackson. He was Talk Gay with Faye on social media. He was a viral influencer a couple of
I,
years.
I
Yeah.
think I think I know him. I used to
Oh,
go
no.
to Miami a lot.
That's where, yep, you know him. You know him. So
Yeah.
get this. He, in the community,
Yeah.
said, oh, this was hilarious. And he shared a 15-second video. And I took those 15 seconds and turned them into 10 years.
Okay.
That's how it happened.
Yeah.
Somebody in my community saw the value.
Yeah.
That is why I sit here.
Yeah.
No straight person, and I have straight followers, no straight person did that for me. One
Yeah.
of my own did.
Yeah.
So it further reinforced my need to stick to my own.
Yeah.
And this thing goes as high as the heavens because we have all the top designers.
Yeah.
We set the tone and the pace for everything. We're doing hair, we're doing
Yeah.
makeup, we're the best friend,
Yeah.
we're the vocal coach, we're the runway coach. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're everywhere. And so when you said, I got to wake up in a beautiful mansion, I said to myself, not only did he get to wake up in a beautiful mansion and enjoy the love of his community, he got to see what's coming for him. Not quitting is key.
Yeah.
It don't matter how old we get.
That is very true.
We and if you really think about it, to be all honest and fair, most of us in the gay community, we come to riches later, after we've had our fun with the boys.
Yeah.
And we literally get serious because we have to.
Yeah.
We can't get hired here and there and everywhere. So we have to create our own spaces, our own businesses, and
Yeah.
they thrive. Then we play with the boys again. We become dimps. We
Yeah.
become dimps.
Yeah.
That's what we do. For the next generation, we bring them along. We
Yeah.
invest in them. We teach them the culture.
Yeah.
We have something so unique, something so unique, because we can reach anybody in the
Yeah.
community. I've had people that you would think are untouchable. They say,
Mm.
"Oh, you're gay." Pick up the phone. "Hey, Queen."
Yeah.
Like I'm tripping because I'm like, "Oh my God." But I had something happen. I don't want to call his name, but he's a famous musician, and we all know him, and we all love him, so we know who we talking about.
Okay.
But he literally, for the first time, I said to him, because I've been following him for years, and I said, "I love you. We love you," and he responded, and it was so crazy because my house, I got babies that follow his music, so they
Yeah.
like, my uncle is talking to my favorite rapper, my
Yeah.
favorite musician, my favorite artist. And I'm
Yeah.
like, baby, that's the community.
Yeah.
That's the community. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, mister, tell me about these awards, the writing,
Ah,
your book. Tell me the inception of it because, ideas, they don't think that men give birth, but we do. We
yeah.
conceive the idea.
Yeah.
Then when we manifest, that's the labor.
Yeah.
No, birthing that thing from fantasy into reality. Our children, we got children. These are our brain children.
Yeah.
Brainchild is not just a word they threw out there. It's a brainchild. So
Yeah.
tell me about your
Yeah.
brainchild.
I started writing very bad poetry when I was 14. I read Maya Angelou's The Black Family Pledge, and there was beauty and music in the words, and I wanted to replicate that. And so I started writing for a newspaper. And at the time I was writing for a newspaper, I worked in a library and I was surrounded by books and I loved it. And one day I walked into the library and I said, if all of these people that are represented in this library in books, whatever form they are, if they can write a book, so can I. And so I started thinking of these characters, and I was walking down the street at night and I saw this guy smoking a cigarette and passed by um, a light post. And I thought, that's the opening of the first chapter. And I wrote the first chapter, and some time passed by. I joined a writing workshop. And through the writing workshop, I learned how to create a character that lives above the page, how to give them a beating heart. And the writing workshop really helped me to find my voice. And by finding my voice, I realized that the first chapter just didn't work. So after I learned how to kill my darlings, how to kill the things that I loved but weren't working for me, that's when I was able to have the final draft and get it published. And I always describe writing the novel, A Love Like Blood, as giving birth and then being unpregnant, because these characters live inside of you for a very long time. And then they exist in the world outside of your body. And it is such a weird experience talking to people who get you through your words, your sentences. Something strange happens in A Love Like Blood. The main character's name is Karsten Tynes. He's young, gay, Somali, Cuban photographer working with his father in a photography studio. And he's brilliant. And the way that he thinks is very kind of like long-winded. And towards the end of the book, the sentences get shorter and shorter because of urgency. And people were able to pick up on that. And I was like, how did you pick up on that? So it's beautiful to be able to talk about things that you created with people who you might meet them at a book signing, or they might send you a message on social media. But the great thing is that my writing program was within an art school. And being surrounded by fine artists changed my writing process. And I tutored fine artists. And so I got to read their work and learn about their art practice. And so that allowed me to think of writing as an art. How could someone describe a painting? What is it that they see? What is it that they cannot see? And that changed me as a writer. It was that experience that allowed me to connect with a group of typewriter poets. And that experience allowed me to become like more of a performance artist, because we would literally take typewriters, go to public events, and we would ask people what they wanted a poem about. And that was sort of like a collaboration where I am the artist creating art for them. That experience alone allowed me to pay my bills during the pandemic. I entered the George Floyd poetry contest because one of the poems that I wrote during this typewriter collective experience, it was like a warm-up activity, and I submitted it, didn't think anything about it. That one poem allowed me to create a collection of poems about police brutality against Black bodies. And I applied for a ton of art and literary grants, and I started creating a bunch of poetry short films. And one of those films was selected for a film festival in Berlin. And so I got to go to Berlin. And so I have lived 100 lives post-pandemic because art really saved me and allowed me to live the life that I wanted. And I am so grateful for people like you, because I might not see every YouTube video. I might not see every IG video, but I go back and I look. And I'm always reminded of the story that you just told, like maybe it was a few months ago, but when you went to Paris and you had on a cat suit and you walked out of the plane with that. And I love being surrounded by queer people because queer people give me strength. And I picture what it was like for you to walk off of a plane in a new environment, being your bold self and how you carried yourself. And that gives me strength. It may sound weird, but like I think of all of our elders, all of our ancestors, and what they had to endure. And it helps to push me forward. And I try to do that with my students too. I try to teach them. I feel like I have gay face, and so wherever I am, even like in non-traditional like queer spaces, I have gay face. So queer students come to me all the time, and I try to teach them everything that I know, how to be confident, how to be proud, and I share my experiences with them to help them. So all of that is included in my art practice, and the writing is a part of the art practice. Um, and one thing that I'm most proud of, I'm still working on it, but I received a grant to create a documentary to share the narratives of older gay men who had a relationship to the city of West Hollywood. And that's probably something I'm most proud of. I'm still editing it. It's coming out soon. But it was incredible to learn about what they did to survive the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And it's all storytelling. All of this is a part of storytelling. How we share our stories, how we get to see stories of others. And so I think it all boils down to I fell in love with a poet at the age of 13 who was a storyteller. And I've become a storyteller, and I like creating storytellers.
Salutations, this is the Queen of Shade. If you loved this clip, you'll love the rest of this conversation. Follow me on YouTube right now, YouTube.com/the Queen of Shade, to watch the rest of this amazing conversation and conversations like it. And remember, I love you.
Please subscribe to the Queen of Shades YouTube today for over 1,000 original videos created by the Queen herself. Subscribe today.